Hey guys, there has been a lot of discussion over on the Apex Legends subreddit page about a new legend that has been leaked named Octane. You guys have probably, if you're following that, have seen this image here, and as well as this image over here on the left. You can see this was the first, I believe, the first image that was leaked, and this is comparing this legend to the outline from the deep dive video that Respawn released. I'll link to that in the description below if you want to check those out, just showing the similarities between the two. And then later, this photo was released showing not only Octane in the background here, but his ability breakdown as well. So he's got a passive that he heals over time. His ability is that he can, for sacrificing a little bit of health, can move faster for a period of time. And then his ultimate being a deployable launch pad that launches users through the air. And so there have been a couple of posts about this potentially being the next legend to be released with the battle pass that Respawn said would come out in March. So we might be seeing that soon. But there have also been a good couple posts about this leak being fake. And so I did some digging myself to see what I could come up with. And I'll just walk you guys through how I found what I did. And so you guys can make of it what you will. To start out, though, I am a developer by trade. I'm a programmer. I went to school for it, and that's what I get paid to do now. And so that's how I know where to look and how to do some of these things. And so we'll start off here. This is what I did. I came over here to my C drive and program files, then Origin Games, Apex, and audio, and then ship. I was digging through this folder a couple weeks ago looking for sound files to make music with, and these are the files that I came up with. So there's this file here, general.mbnk, and this is basically a big chunk of all the audio in the game. Rather than a whole bunch of MP3s listed out for the sounds that can happen in the game, Respawn took it and bundled it all into one big file that isn't readable by iTunes or any music player, but is readable by their game. And so what I did, if you open up a window here, so here I list out all the files, and if I pump this file into a program called XXD, which takes a binary dump, it just reads out the bytes, like the zeros and ones, into a file, and I'll just call it dump.txt. And then it'll take a second to write that out to the file. Awesome, it's done. And then I can take this and open it with a text editor. So here you can see this is the actual binary file. It's a whole bunch of gobbledygook. These numbers on the left here represent essentially how far into the file you are, how deep you are. These numbers in the center, a couple of columns, are the actual binary data represented as hexadecimal, and then over here on the right is the ASCII or the text values that binary represents. So I started off just scrolling through all of this file to see if I could find anything interesting, and I found that a good ways down in the file I started to see something kind of significant. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to jump to the end here. So we've got 950, 920 is where it about stops, and I'll just delete the rest of that to show you what I'm doing here, and then come back to was 7230. Awesome. Okay, and delete all the way to the beginning. So this text here looks meaningful. We see zip line. We see a lot about the zip line. We see mech, 2-channel, reverb, large. This is all kind of sound stuff. So what I thought I was looking at right here is actually the file names of all the audio files that are in this bank, this chunk of data. So I wrote this little find and replace method to kind of delete all the binary data out of it. So if I run that there, then we're left with just all the text up at the top. And then I'll do another one to replace the periods with new lines. And boom, we've got this big list of file names, audio file names, that are in this database, more or less. And I'll upload this and link it in the description as well if you want to check it out. And so we'll start by, I'm going to look for like a character. So here's Wraith, and as we go through, here's a bunch of Wraith sounds. So we've got MVMT, that's probably movement, Wraith, gear, jingle when sprinting, one channel, whatever, and some numbers, right? And there's 7,965 entries. So if I just keep going through here, you know, idle sounds, dialogue, I'm assuming that's what that is. We've got champion eliminated dialogue, circle closing dialogue, moves nag dialogue, congrats kill dialogue, moving right along, damage enemy dialogue. And so you can see all sorts of healing, movements. There's a whole bunch of stuff like sound effects when you hit the ground, ping sounds for Wraith, spotting enemies, so forth. Anyway, so with the name Octane leaked, I just searched for Octane, and as you can see, there's 510 entries for Octane. So there definitely is something to do with Octane in the game right now. I'm just on the latest patch, and I'm digging through the files that the Origin launcher downloads to your computer so that you can play the game, because you need all those sounds on your computer in order to have them played while you're playing. And so we can see here, Octane, jump pad, player bounce, air whoosh. So that leak about the abilities, that his ultimate being a jump pad, make of it what you will, but that seems pretty convincing to me. Player bounce, mech, player bounce, sizzle. And what's funny is I did this a week or two ago, and I checked through that file, and there was Octane entries in that file, but not as many. So Respawn has been adding sounds to the game, I'm sure, as they've been working on him over the last 2 weeks. Moving along, there's this Octane inject insert. So I'm assuming that's his ability where he can sacrifice some health for the movement boost. And then inject pull out. There's some movement, sprinting, sound effects, and moving along. Here's these are like all the standard sounds. So brush, concrete, deep water, sand, slime. I mean, you know, I'm sure these are all dirt, down grass. So these are the sounds that it makes when you're sliding down mud, when you're sliding down sand, and so forth. And if you guys are interested, there's also been some information leaked about another legend named Watson. And here's just to verify that there is a bunch of Watson crouching on tile, crouching on wood, you know, all the normal sounds that the character would make moving through the environment. Melee door kick, melee elbow. There are a whole bunch of sounds in there for a supposed Watson. Anyway, I'll upload that file and stick it in the description. You guys can dig through it if you want. Make of this what you will. I'm just sharing what I have found. Maybe tomorrow being March 1st, we will see firsthand the new legend. But until then, guys, enjoy playing the game. Hopefully this information was useful. Thanks for tuning in.